These children are simply astonishing. Their stories seem unbelievable, and the photographs documenting their deeds are just shocking. But who among them will surprise you even more? A young genius, a 5-year-old mountain of muscles, or a girl who became a mother in her 6th year of life? Meet Oscar Wrigley, and let's not confuse him with Mr. Ripley, the movie character played by Matt Damon. This British citizen is rightfully considered the smartest child in the world. When he was only 2.5 years old, his IQ equaled the adult intelligence quotient of Albert Einstein. Thanks to this achievement, Oscar became the youngest resident of the United Kingdom to be accepted into Mensa, which accepts those with sufficiently high IQ scores. Wrigley's IQ was 160 points. At 2.5, he was more interested in the breeding cycle of penguins than in typical children's games. Oscar's parents claimed that he started talking at 9 months, and by 18 months, he could recite the alphabet by heart. By 2 years old, his vocabulary consisted of thousands of words, significantly exceeding the norm for children his age, whose vocabularies consist of approximately 50 words. When Oscar reached 7, this young genius had already mastered the curriculum of senior classes, studying 6 languages, and was engrossed in university biology textbooks. Jessica Leonard, an American girl, became known worldwide for her incredible transformation. At just 3 years old, Jessica weighed nearly 176 pounds. In the following year, she gained another 40 kilos, and by the age of 7, the girl reached a weight of over 485 pounds. Due to her excessive weight, Jessica could barely move. She developed joint problems, and even speaking was difficult for her. Jessica's mother said her daughter constantly demanded food and threw tantrums if she was restricted in eating. Instead of the recommended 1,800 calories a day, the girl consumed up to 10 salar, preferring fast food and soda. After participating in several TV shows, Jessica finally received help. She was placed in a special clinic where she began the gradual process of losing weight. In a year and a half, Jessica lost 308 pounds. By the age of 10, she had shed most of the accumulated fat and later underwent surgery to remove excess skin. Jessica realized the need to control her diet and began adhering to a more balanced diet, leading an active lifestyle and maintaining a normal weight for her age. As a student, she actively practiced gymnastics and played basketball. In her diet, Jessica began to prefer fruits and vegetable salads. Currently, she weighs 132 pounds, achieved through her perseverance and commitment to healthy eating. She remembers her past condition with horror when her weight was higher. Photos of a little boy with a muscular build, not typical for children, have been seen probably by all internet users. These pictures went viral and even became memes. This young athlete's name is Juliano Stroeh. Juliano was born in Romania in 2004. His father, a former gymnast, instilled in his son a love of sports from early childhood. At just 2 years old, the boy began training with weights. His father took Juliano to the gym, where the young athlete learned everything his father knew. Thanks to gymnastic and strength exercises, the little sportsman set many records. At 5 years old, he managed to walk 32 feet on his hands while holding a 33-pound ball between his legs. A few years later, Juliano could do 20 handstand push-ups without his feet touching the ground. Meanwhile, it is known that Juliano was not deprived in his childhood. He drew, loved watching cartoons, and played with friends in the yard. Outside of the fitness club, he was just a regular boy. Juliano Stroeh is 19 years old and he is intensively training in a boxing gym. His main goal is to become a world champion, and we believe in him. Julian Pavone is a talented American musician who became the world's youngest professional drummer. Born in 2005, he began to show an interest in rhythm at just a few months old. At 15 months, Julian signed his first music contract performing the drum section for an American basketball team's anthem. Each year, the young musician gained more public attention. His performances on YouTube, where a 2-year-old with a pacifier in his mouth played rhythms on a drum set, garnered thousands of views. By the age of 1.5, Julian had recorded his first album, which brought him fame. At 11, Julian mastered a 22-part drum set, including 17 cymbals and 2 bass drums. He played virtuoso in various genres such as rock, funk, fusion, and jazz beat, but Julian's successes in music were only part of his achievements. At the age of 4, he invented, manufactured, and patented a unique correcting liquid called abracadabra. This liquid, contained in a drum-shaped container, could remove paint chips from musical instruments and other items. Furthermore, at 7, Julian developed and patented Julian's gloves with interchangeable tips, enabling the production of various sounds. Thus, Julian Pavone is a young and talented musician, not only in love with music, but also possessing unique inventive abilities. In 1933, Lina Medina was born in Peru. 5 years later, she became a mother herself. The girl's belly grew noticeably larger and caused her parents concern. The doctors, assuming the presence of a tumor, took Lina to the hospital. However, the doctor's diagnosis stunned everyone. The girl was 7 months pregnant. The doctors attributed this phenomenon to Lina's early puberty. Her first period began at 8 months, and by the age of 4, she had actively developed mammary glands. The question of who was the father of 5-year-old Lina's child still has no answer. In 1939, the father of Lina Medina was detained on suspicion of rape of his daughter, but to prove guilt failed, and he was released. It is worth noting that Lina gave birth to a healthy boy weighing 2.7 kilograms and was delivered by cesarean section. Lina's son was raised as her brother until the age of 10, then he was told the family secret. Gerardo passed away at the age of 40 from bone marrow disease. As an adult, Lina married and had a second child in 1972. Thus, the difference between the first and second births was 33 years. There is a theory that the girl was the victim of a ritual rite, or orgies that often ended mass festivities among Peruvian Indians in the villages. However, this is only speculation, as Lina took this mystery with her to the grave. In November 2015, at the age of 82, she passed away. Carson Huey-You is the youngest graduate of Texas Christian University. At a young age, he could play the piano, spoke Chinese, and was able to create an 8-step problem to solve mathematical structures in quantum physics. At the age of 11, he became the youngest student at Texas Christian University. Huey-Yu's parents noticed the first signs of his giftedness at 3 months old. His mother took the baby for a vision check, and the doctor was impressed with Huey-Yu's ability to focus. Carson was not even 2 years old yet, but he could already read an entire chapter from a book. He began a reading instruction program before his 3rd birthday. At 5 years old, Huey-You could add, subtract, multiply, and divide numbers, bringing him to the knowledge level of high school students. He taught himself to play the piano using books and online courses. The parents of this prodigy faced difficulties in finding him a suitable school due to his young age and high intellect. However, they managed to find one. At this educational institution, the boy was treated with understanding. The school, which does not have a strictly fixed teaching style, allows 30–40% of students to graduate earlier than usual. In his new school, Huey-You stood out for his academic performance and willingness to help others. The older students simply adored him for these qualities. Initially, Huey-You couldn't even apply for university online due to his date of birth. But during a conversation with university representatives, he impressed them greatly. At 14, he graduated from Texas Christian University with bachelor's degrees in physics, Chinese language, and mathematics. At the age of 17, he earned a master's degree in quantum physics. Currently, Huey-You is a graduate student at Texas Christian University, continuing his specialization in this field. Gifted children have existed in all times. Take, for example, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Unless you live in a secluded cave, you're likely familiar with the name Mozart, the great composer and musician. From the earliest years of his life, he showed remarkable abilities in music. At the age of 3, Mozart first picked up a musical instrument, and by 5 years old, he wrote his first published musical composition. His father taught him to play the organ, violin, and harpsichord. When Amadeus was 6, the whole family went on a musical tour through European cities. In these cities, Mozart and his sister Maria Anna gave concerts that amazed listeners with their astonishing beauty. During travels through Germany, Switzerland, and the Netherlands, Mozart's music continued to amaze audiences with its unique sound. His compositions were first published in Paris. In the following years, Amadeus Mozart lived in Italy, where his operas were first staged. By the age of 17, he had traveled to enough European cities and had more than 40 major works in his repertoire. What would you say if your attending surgeon was only 7 years old? Would you agree to the operation? The thoughts that come to mind when speaking of a surgeon often relate to the seriousness of this profession. To become a highly qualified specialist requires a lot of hard and dedicated study. A surgeon plays a risky role, as a patient's life depends on their hands. However, There are known cases in the world where surgeons, without formal education and at a very young age, conducted successful operations. Today I will tell you about one such case. Akrit Jaswal is the world's youngest surgeon. He was born in India on April 23, 1993. Despite his young age, he had remarkable abilities. At 10 months old, he began to speak, and by 2 years old, he mastered reading and writing. At 6 years old, the boy read books on anatomy and other areas of biology and medicine. At the age of 13, his IQ was 146. This amazing intellect of Akrit Jaswal astonished many. From childhood, his main goal was to find a cure for cancer. At the age of 6, he came up with the idea of treating cancer with gene therapy. Thanks to his idea, he had the opportunity to be present in the hospital during surgeries and observe the process. As a result, Akrit was able to perform surgeries at the age of 7. Many called it a miracle, as without practicing and studying many surgical techniques, Akrit Jaswal began to successfully operate at such a young age. Akrit performed his first surgery on a 9-year-old child from a poor family whose fingers were fused together. The family couldn't afford to see doctors at a hospital, so they turned to Akrit's family to perform the surgery for free. Without hesitation, the boy agreed. The boy's parents doubted their son's success, but an adult and experienced surgeon helped him, and the operation was successful. Akrit Jaswal enrolled in primary school at the age of 5 and completed the entire elementary program in 1 year. At 12, he earned a bachelor's degree in botany, chemistry, and zoology at an Indian university. Thanks to his genius mind, Akrit Jaswal was invited to exchange ideas about medical research and was tested at Imperial College in London. Over 2 weeks, Akrit was tested by various experts in biology, surgery, urology, and psychology. The results showed that Akrit Jaswal indeed possesses enormous potential in the medical field. However, he needs the guidance of competent expert surgeons in the relevant areas. Yet for any parent, their child will always be the most beautiful, smart, and talented, and most importantly, for any child to be loved. I wish this to all of you, parents and children.